tonight.
Hello and welcome to Roll for Damage. So we're going to start this project by cutting out the wall for our secret door. It's going to be 2.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. I'm cutting this out of the Dollar Tree foam board. Then I'm going to take my pencil and going to grid out a pattern for the bricks for me. That black pattern at the bottom of your right hand screen is the secret door that's going to be sitting here. So I'm modeling this after the Hertz Art secret door, and they use these cinder block type bricks for the walls, which makes the door much easier to cut out. So I followed that pattern and etched it out. I put that pattern over my door, or where I wanted the door to be cut out. I put little X's over the blocks that I knew I needed to cut out, and then took my X-Acto knife and got to work. I cut through the top layer. My X-Acto knife was a little dull, so I went back and flipped it over and cut through the remainder of the paper just to make sure I didn't score that wall too many times on the wrong side. It's very simple. You could still feel right where your knife on the other side went through, and it's just a matter of just tracing very lightly. So I'm detaching the actual door that we're going to use from the wall that we're going to use. And once this piece is cut out, I'm going to get a piece of cardboard to back it. And this cardboard is also cut out with that door missing as well. And it's basically just going to reinforce this foam because it's so lightweight and so brittle. And we just needed something more durable. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to glue this wall now to a cardboard base. I skipped this up. We are coating it with Elmer's glue just to give it some extra durability. And now I am gluing this to the base. And this is obviously so it stands up straight, and it takes no time at all. And once that dries, I'm taking a 6-inch bamboo skewer and literally riding halfway through that adjacent brick and where our secret door is going to be. That way this skewer acts as a hinge, and I learned this from DM Scotty. I'm taking that skewer and basically hollowing out a recess where it's going to sit flush on the skewer and act like a hinge. That way it doesn't interfere with the opposite wall. It closes neatly, you hardly see it. Put very minimal hot glue. You don't want to put a lot. If you put too much, it's going to squeeze out when you push that door on it, and then your door is going to be stuck open. So you want to try and avoid that. You just need just enough to get it stuck. That's it. Let it dry completely. Here, all I did, and I'm sorry it was off screen, I just cut that bamboo skewer actually deep into the foam. That way it's not noticeable. And I'm taking this cardstock here, and I'm sealing the edges and hiding the gaps and the differences between the foam board and the cardstock. This is a more organized, geometric type of wall than I normally do. So I just wanted to keep with that theme and give it nice, clean edges. So I used the cardstock to hide the hot glue beveled, the difference between the two walls. I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut the overage of the cardstock down at a downward angle, so it's beveled below the cardstock, below the cardboard. That way, it doesn't give that weird cardboard frame appearance that sometimes you see when you don't take that time. And that is just popsicle sticks hot glued to the back of that door, and I only did that because the only thing on that door is foam board, and with you pushing on that enough, that's going to break. So I just wanted to reinforce it. Now I'm just slathering black acrylic paint on it. I didn't want to risk putting black spray paint on it because I didn't know if I had enough coverage with the glue, and I didn't want to risk melting it. So I use black acrylic paint. Now I'm going over with a dark gray, and it's not a dry brush, but it's definitely not nearly what I was using for the black. It's kind of somewhere in between, like just slightly wet. And then I went back and I painted the actual stone faces because I wanted them to stand out a little more. I didn't want it to look so dry brushed per se. I wanted a more in your face kind of stone look. This particular stone wall is going to be part of a castle in my campaign, and the secret door allows access into the castle, which would be previously inaccessible. So the base, the cardboard that this wall is mounted to, I'm painting mud because in my campaign it's a very swampy, muddy place. However, I took and brought that actual mud up like a brick or two in some spots, just to give it the appearance that it rains heavily. The mud gets splashed on the wall. It's been sitting here a while, so even just in age, it would gather that dirt. And I didn't want a crisp, clean looking brick. So after that, I went and I'm going to take more brown. And this is moccasin brown. It's a really cool color if y'all haven't had this. And I'm going to highlight the mud a little more in certain areas that I felt like needed more attention. And then after this, I'm going to take a green. And on the cardboard there, it looks neon, but it's just called crisp green. And anything you paint, is going to get darker when it dries. So I didn't want it to be like a dark muted green, so I got a little bit brighter green. That way when it dries, it still looks like a live, vibrant algae that would cover like a tree or something like that, and maybe some mold. And this castle's been here a while, so I just wanted to make sure I had that appearance. And it's in a damp, dark place, and I just wanted that appearance to carry over into the campaign. So here it is on my table. I'm sorry about the lighting, but I'm trying to show you that it functions, it opens, it swings wide open for mini access. That black pattern that I had in the very beginning of the episode, I kept, and it actually fits almost like a perfect plug into the back and hides any of the daylight that you could see after I cut that door out. They had a little bit too much daylight, and I didn't want that to be shown. I wanted it to look like a solid wall. So all I did was just pop that little black plug back in, and it nearly hides almost everything. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Please tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and give me any feedback. That would be appreciated.